Hi, welcome to in Piscataway. I'm Steve Cahn, a councilman from the 3rd Ward in Piscataway. I'm here filling in for Mayor Brian Waller this afternoon. And as you can see, we're not in the studio, we're outside at our new community center. We're going to deviate once again from the standard way the show's been run and bring you some information about what's going on in town, as well as take a really detailed look at the new community center, probably the most detailed look that we've had the opportunity to take. As you'll see, the community center is pretty much completed, and we're going to get a chance to meet the executive director as well as the senior facilities director, and those are going to be the two individuals that are really running the facility. Before we go into the facility to take a detailed look around, we're going to spend some time talking about what's going on in town and update you on some information you need to know about the COVID-19 health emergency. I'm out here at the old Erickson site, and you can see I have behind me a COVID-19 testing site that's just been set up and is now operational in Piscataway. There's some important information that you need to know about it. This is something that was set up jointly between Mayor Brian Waller, who lobbied Robert Wood and the county to set up this facility in town, the county freeholders, and Robert Wood Johnson. So this is it's a great site, and it's really simple. If you're not feeling well and you think there's a chance that you have this virus, it's really important to be tested. Now you can be tested right here in our own town. It's free and it's simple. All you have to do is to go to the Middlesex County website, look for the page that gets an appointment for a COVID-19 test, fill out a couple of simple questions, have a prescription from your doctor, and you can come down here and get a test. It's the new Rutgers test, it's the spit test. It's very quick, it's very efficient, and you're going to get an answer in probably 24 to 48 hours of whether or not you have the virus. As you can see, it's a really efficient setup. People come by appointment, it's private, it's secure, and we're really lucky that we were able to get this testing site in our community. So there's a couple of other things that are going on in town with respect to the COVID-19 virus that I want to talk about briefly while we're out here at the site. You may have seen that Mayor Brian Waller signed an executive order on outdoor restaurant seating. I want to just take a minute to explain what that means. So we're expecting that at some point in time soon, the governor is going to modify his executive order and allow restaurants to set up outdoor seating with social distancing in mind. We're very concerned about our local businesses, our local restaurants during this time of crisis. So what Mayor Waller did to strip away all the red tape is signed an executive order that you can, if you're a restaurant in town, fill out a simple permit, let us know what you're doing, keep in mind social distancing, and set up outdoor seating. So that's probably going to happen sometime in June, and that's something that residents will be able to take advantage of, our local businesses will be able to take advantage of. One other thing I want to talk about quickly before we go back to the community center is I'm out in the public. There's nobody 10 feet from me. I'm out in a little bit of the rain, but we have to, if we're going to beat this crisis, if we're going to get beyond where we are, we've got to listen to the health professionals and what they tell us. Nobody likes to wear a mask. Nobody likes to follow all the guidelines. Again, I'm out here in the public, but if you're going to be around folks, if you're going to be inside, you have to wear a mask. I went out and got myself a beautiful Rutgers mask. My kids have some fun masks. It's going to be the way it's going to be for the next couple of months. If we want to get our society moving, if we want to get our economy moving, we're going to have to do these things. It's really simple, and it's just and frankly, I got a good-looking mask. I'm going to put my Rutgers mask on right now. There's all sorts of masks you can get. I like to make a statement about Rutgers. And now we're going to go back to the community center, take a detailed look around, and get to meet some of the individuals that are going to run this community center for us. Hey Kyle, how are you? Good to see you.
How you doing?
We're here in the lobby of the new Piscataway Community Center, and you are the executive director, so welcome to Piscataway.
Well, thank you. It's a joy to be here, and what an amazing facility and what a great community resource that we're putting together here.
So I wanted to take a couple minutes to introduce you to the residents of Piscataway. Where are you from originally?
Well, I was born and raised in the Chicago area. My boys were born out in the Philadelphia region, and then I have just recently come from Indiana. So the YMCA has taken me Midwest and out east, and it's been a good experience.
You were working in Indiana for the YMCA?
Correct. I led a single branch YMCA there where I was the CEO, and we were just serving Grant County and making real connections and impacting people's lives.
So I guess I should explain it to people. This is the Piscataway Community Center. It's a township facility that we built, but we decided to partner up with the YMCA to have you folks manage the facility because that's really your expertise. So why don't we talk a little bit about that partnership from your perspective as the executive director, how you're going to run the facility, how you're going to work with the town, tell the folks a little bit about your philosophy about how you're going to do that.
Well, the YMCA is obviously a well-recognized brand. It's about community. What we normally look at is we try to make sure that we are the safety net for a lot of different programs and features within a community. We want to be welcoming to everyone. That's something that's a fundamental part of the way that we operate. And so we're going to have traditional programming that people think about with the YMCA. We're going to have incredible water exploration programs for our little ones, swim teams, water aerobics. We're going to have fitness classes. We're going to have group fitness. But we're also going to dive into the arts and humanities. We're going to find what are the passions inside of our community and how do we explore and tap into those. What we're really trying to do is really tap into and find the best in each and everybody, and then find a place that is really a meeting ground for everyone as well. A place where we all come together. We may have some differences here or there, but we really are all united together as a supporting cast of Piscataway. And so that's one of the gifts that the YMCA brings, and we're excited to serve each and everyone in our community.
So for people who are at home are thinking, well, it's just a gym for physical activity, the community center is more than that, correct?
Significantly more. This is a place that you really want to see families and all generations coming together, all people coming together. This is going to, when we open our doors, we're going to have a certain amount of programming, but as we start to find needs and as we find gifts within this community, we're going to expand into, as I said, the arts and humanities. There's a golf simulator that's on the second floor around the walking track that we're going to be able to see parties and development for young people as well as people that are avid golfers. You're going to see the pool together with individuals that are struggling to even walk. And they're going to find that they regain their mobility through some of the programs and classes that we do, all the way to allowing children to get a lifelong love of the pool, just having fun together. We're going to see Child Watch, where kids are developing friendships, they're creating crafts, they're just engaging with one another as their parents are able to go in and engage in a class of another sort. So this really is a full family, full community, full facility to explore any of the passions that people may or may not know that they have interest in just yet.
So by way of example, right down that hallway there, we have a teen center that we built. What do you envision some of the programming in the teen center?
Well, first of all, we just know that we need to find safe places for teens to get together and explore their development. We definitely have started to explore some options that would allow us to bring some e-gaming into the community center, which is a really up-and-coming sport. But you have opportunities to just grow together. We have leaders clubs that are in those programs. We have youth and government clubs. There are so many opportunities once we have a place that teens can come together, know that they're safe, to develop into the adults that they plan to be in the future and really give back and be productive citizens, which is all we ever hope for as parents. And then, of course, as community leaders that envision such an amazing and grand facility.
So one of the unique things about this facility is where we chose to locate it. In addition to the teen center, we're literally at point, because the folks in town know, we're literally right next door to the senior center as well. And I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities for seniors here. Can you just tell us a little bit about what you envision seniors being able to do here in the facility?
Seniors are such an important part of our community, and finding activities, especially in this generational shift. 20 years ago when I started in the YMCA, senior programming was very specific. and it met only just a few needs that were out there. But our senior populations are robust. They have a lot of different passions. So our goal is to partner with the senior center to figure out how do we incorporate what we can do well, which is a lot of times the physical side of things, along with the programmatic side, where they're learning new activities, new skills, getting a chance to go out into the community, go on the exploration together. This partnership is really well designed, being this close to one another. Seniors will have classes that are specifically designed for them. They'll have times that they're going to feel that they are really welcomed into this facility around their schedules. They're going to have so many opportunities to develop all the things that they wanted and had passions for, but sometimes maybe never got the chance to try when they had to raise families, work in the workforce, do all these other things. Now they get to develop all of those other dreams right here inside these walls, and we're excited to be able to do that.
So this is a project that I've been involved in for a while. We're all really excited that it's done. And of course, it was finished in the middle of the biggest national health crisis, certainly in our lifetime. I'm sure that you've thought about and done some planning about how that's going to affect opening the facility and programming. I'm sure that it's probably too detailed to go into at length, but can you just give us some idea of what some of the things are that you're considering, or how we're going to get open and get functioning with where we are today health-wise?
Well, this is probably the first step that you can really see the advantage of joining forces with the YMCA. We have 1,800 other YMCAs out there. Many of them have started that reopening process. So we have a lot of best practices that we can put into place. Obviously, you see even in this interview that we're taking precautions to make sure that we're being conscientious and careful of each other's health. And those are some of the things that you're going to see when we open up our doors. We're going to have social distancing. We're going to have barriers. We're going to have cleaning stations so people can disinfect their hands. We're going to space out our equipment. We're going to have class sizes that are going to be considerably smaller than if we weren't in this pandemic situation. But safety of everyone that comes through these doors will be of paramount concern. And we will follow the guidelines of our leaders that have put that before, the CDC. And again, as I said, best practices of 1,800 other YMCAs out there that have already started this process. We want people to feel safe, welcome, and ready to participate in this incredible community center that we've got here in Piscataway.
Well, thanks for taking the time, Carl. From the beginning, the plan had been to, there's certain things that government does well. We build facilities. We build a great facility, but we're not experts at running a community center necessarily, or an aquatic center. And so I'm hoping this is going to be a real true partnership between the YMCA and the town. Welcome to Piscataway. I've had the chance to talk to you. I'm really excited about the partnership and where we're about to go. We just need to get by the crisis we're in now and just let things take off. I'm really looking forward to working with you, and I'm looking forward to taking a real detailed look throughout the facility. So let's go take a look. Let's go walk through and take a real detailed look at what we have in this community center. The facility's got all sorts of things for everybody, as we've talked about. I'm standing in front of the teen center. It's still getting set up, and this is going to be used obviously as a teen center. It's going to have computers and all kinds of different events can be run out of it. If you go down the hall a little further, we actually put our Office of Emergency Management, which really didn't have a proper home. We built some office space for them down the end of the hall. And on the other side here, we're going to take a look at in just a minute, we have an art studio and a dance studio. So we're inside the dance studio. For those of you at home that think I'm going to dance, I'm not going to dance. But this is a great room. As you can see, it's beautiful. This room can be used not just for dance classes, but can be used for aerobics. It can be used for martial arts. All different sorts of activities can be done in here. And this is a place I'm sure you can envision countless kids using it, adults using it at different times of the day. It's just a terrific multi-purpose room.
One of the unique rooms that was built into this community center was our arts and humanities space. And that's where we're at right now. And this is going to be a multi-generational, multicultural, arts and humanity type of space for us. What's unusual to be able to do is reach everybody through, whether it ends up being also some other dance classes, through arts, creative, any type of creative programming that we can do that really taps into the spirit of our community. This is something that has been really strong in the YMCA movement for the past, probably the last 20 years. We've started to see a lot of success in how this can tap into the uniqueness of each community that we serve. And so we're going to be looking forward to meeting a lot of exciting individuals that have passions in lots of different venues, because we can see this as program space that is, again, seniors all the way down to youth. We can see this as activities where we see social gatherings coming together, all working together around some type of artistic format. This is really going to develop and has the most potential to change over the course of time for us. And we're really excited to be able to find out where this journey is going to take us and see exactly what really gifts we can tap into.
So what we've put into the facility is a daycare center for folks who want to come and work out. So you want to come and you want to swim, you want to go to the gym, you want to take some classes, and you've got young children. There's a fun, exciting place for them to be. You can see it's a beautiful room, it's colorful, and your kids will be in a safe environment while you're enjoying the facility. It's really something that, a lot of parents wouldn't be able to come, a lot of folks wouldn't be able to come to the facility and use it because they had daycare or child care issues. So we thought this would be a great facility to really help parents, busy parents, find the time to come in and work out or enjoy some of the other recreational activities we have here. Hey Mo, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm here with Mo Derti, who's our Senior Facilities Director, and we are here this afternoon in the fitness center. So I want to get a chance to introduce you to the residents in town. You're the Senior Facilities Director here at our community center, correct?
Correct.
Tell the folks at home a little bit about yourself and what you're going to be doing here in the facility.
A little bit about me. Basically, I've been in the restaurant business. I've been doing facility maintenance and construction for about over 16 years now. Basically, in the facility, I'm going to maintain everything for you guys. I like to keep a safe, clean, comfortable, well-maintained environment for everyone. So we're basically going to be making sure all your equipment's running properly, it's being sanitized, disinfected correctly. Your HVAC systems, basically the temperatures are being kept in all the rooms and maintained. The pool systems, when we have those as well, basically make sure all the chemical levels are balanced, pools maintain certain temperatures in the water as well as the air quality temperature.
So we're here now in the fitness center, which is quite a big room, and it's got an awful lot of beautiful equipment. This is a room, I guess, it's going to get a lot of activity and a lot of use, and will require a lot of cleaning and a lot of maintenance, especially nowadays. So, right?
Correct. We will actually have wipe stations and sprays for wiping down all the equipment after everyone. Before and after they use them, we ask people to basically wipe down the machines, as well as we'll have a person on site wiping down equipment as well throughout the day, and the cleaning staff at night making sure the site is cleaned.
So folks, as you can see, we've got treadmills, we've got elliptical trainers, we have a section of free weights, we have a bunch of cross-training type of equipment, a variety of different machines for different kinds of physical activity, resistance training, weightlifting. Goodness knows how many treadmills, and I think we got 100 treadmills. I've never seen more treadmills in one room at one time. It's a big, beautiful facility. Off to the side are some separate exercise rooms where we're going to have spin classes. I think we're going to have some bikes and spin classes. So again, there's something here for everybody. And anything else you want to discuss about this room before we move on?
No, I mean, you said basically everything. I mean, the facility's beautiful. The town of Piscataway basically built an amazing facility here with state-of-the-art equipment. So I'd like to thank you guys for that and the opportunity to join your team and your family.
Well, we're really glad to have you. We tried to bring on board the best people we could to really bring a great experience to the town. We're glad you're here.
Thank you again.
It's hard to really say which is the most beautiful room in this facility, but a strong case could be made that the gym, kind of a multi-purpose room, gym, basketball courts, is not one of the most beautiful rooms. It's a beautiful floor, township logo. I'm here again with Kyle, so we can talk about, obviously you can play basketball here, but tell us, as the executive director, what do you envision folks in town getting to do here in this room?
Well, again, we're talking about having multi-generational, groups that are in here. So the first thing to point out is that you do have a walking track still on this floor. So if mobility is a question mark, don't be afraid of this facility. We have great equipment in there that is easy access, that's in our wellness center. We've got a walking track around the gymnasium floor here. But this is one of those spaces that really is multi-generational. So many kids have had their first experience with some level of sport, team activity, right inside of a YMCA gym. But we're going to see adult sports in here, so there's a possibility of pickleball, of volleyball, of basketball leagues. You're going to see activity where kids just are able to move around and play. Families, when it's rainy outside and it's not comfortable to be outdoors, having an open space like this to be able to bring your children is truly a lifesaver. So this is not only an absolutely beautiful space, but it is a multi-function, multi-generational, it really succeeds in achieving a lot of goals that we have for our community.
So a couple of things I want to point out, as Kyle said, there's a marked out, walking track around the gym floor. There's obviously 6 baskets. We don't have in the bleachers yet. There's going to be retractable bleachers that come out. They're one of the things that have been held up. They come from a plant in Michigan, and the plant's obviously had some logistical challenges in the last 2 months, so they're not in yet. We have a divider that we can divide the gym in half, so we can have one event going on one side and another event going on another. We can set it up for volleyball. We have poles that can go into the ground, and we can set up this as a volleyball facility as well. And again, I can envision, having been in YMCA's on a number of occasions or other gyms, I can envision this in a few months, hopefully in a few months, with dozens of kids all doing dozens of different activities. We could even have adults on one side and kids on another. It's just a great room. We're going to get a chance in a few minutes to go upstairs, because we have upstairs a jogging track, a running track that actually goes around the gym itself. So now we're upstairs above the basketball court, and we're on the indoor walking running track. This is a tremendous asset. It's 12 laps around to a mile. It's a really nice, well put together, soft surface where year round you could use it, but certainly in the cold and rainy days of the winter, one can be up here, with all of the windows and all the bright light, exercising. It's really just a tremendous addition. It's an addition that most facilities like this don't have. We also have something really unique. It's not put in yet, but behind these walls, it's a golf training computer simulators. You may or may not have seen some of those in a store, or you may have seen them on TV. But it's going to be really interesting, and again, something multi-generational that young kids could learn. Older folks could come in and play and practice. Really an exciting addition that fits perfectly into that space upstairs. Again, another big, well thought out, well lit with natural light, beautiful space. We're here in the largest room, and perhaps the most exciting is the aquatic center, where we have 3 pools. I'm here with Kyle to talk about how you're going to use this room and what kind of things can go on here. Obviously, swimming. So, why don't you tell the folks at home a little bit about where we are and what we see here?
It's an incredible aquatics facility that we have here. This is a center that is really open to all families, all ages, once again, and it includes, if you go outdoors, to an incredible splash park. So aquatics has been very centered in the thought process of this facility. And I happen to be a big believer in that. The pool is just a great time for all ages to really find success. You've heard me allude to in some of our other conversations, We see individuals, our seniors, that have mobility issues. The water seems to take all of that away and gives them their freedom of mobility back. This area right here is a great way to introduce young kids to the water. Those that may have fears or not have experiences in the pool are going to fall in love with the features, the zero depth entry. They have control over their own experience. And it's just a really brilliant design. And then for my heart, one of the most beautiful competitive pools that I've seen in a long time. This is really designed well for all kinds of different meets, training activities. It is going to be one of the shining stars of this facility. And that allows you to train people, teach people, let families enjoy recreation. All the things that you want in aquatics are found right here inside these four walls.
Well, we're going to take a closer look at the different pools, and then Kyle and I are going to have a race to see who can go swim fastest across the pool.
You have to do breaststroke, I'll do free.
Yeah, I think you'll beat me. But let's just take a closer look, if we can, at this pool, because it has some really unique features that you discussed. What Kyle said is it's zero entry, meaning folks in a wheelchair could have access. Disabled folks have access with no steps. Young kids have access. The water's only inches deep at one end of the pool. I think the deepest is what, 3 feet?
3.5.
3 feet or so. And this is just a great family kid pool. And you can just envision, you can almost hear the excitement and the noise in the room, where we have a swim meet going on one end, we have kids on another, or we have our high school swim team practicing. We have adults exercising in the early morning. We have kids in the other pool all at the same time. It's really exciting. Let's go take a little bit of a closer look at some of the other pools and some of the other things in this room. So we're taking a little bit of a closer look at the lap pool. Kyle, tell us what we have or what we can do with this particular pool here.
This pool has so much flexibility to it. Obviously, it's set up so that it can still do lap swimming for overflow, but it also is going to be our primary fitness pool. So a lot of our group fitness classes will take place in here, and also for our swim lessons. This is going to, as they advance up out of our therapy pool, they can move into our family pool here and really gain some strong skills before they make it all the way over to the competitive side. So this one has the most versatility for all the things that we want to do. And again, we've made every pool accessible for everyone. No one should think that this is not a community center for them. This was built with a lot of vision, with a lot of good ideas, and it was made for everyone.
Again, what's really exciting? Look at all the open space. I mean, it's a wide open space. We got a lot of natural light in here. And again, one activity is going on here and another activity is going on somewhere else. And it's not a situation where, in some YMCAs or other gyms you go to, and you are a fitness swimmer, you want to go and get some exercise, and you can't because the pool is being used for a particular activity. Here in our facility, we've got so much water that we can break it up and let different people do different things at the same time. And this pool is handicapped accessible as well, right, Kyle? Let's take one more look at at our big pool and talk about some of the features there. Well, I haven't gotten a chance to jump in it yet. Let me just see how the temperature is. Whoa, it's a little chilly. We're gonna get the heaters turned on at some point?
As we open up, we're gonna be ready for heating, but this will always be the coldest pool that we have in the facility. This is meant for lap swimming, which most lap swimmers are gonna want it somewhere between the 78, almost no more than 80 degrees. This is meant to be cooler. Otherwise, it really does start to become a very challenging workout for avid swimmers.
Yeah, people don't realize if you're swimming laps for a half an hour in a pool and the water's warm, you actually will sweat from the warm water. So tell us a little bit about what some of the features are with this pool and how you envision using it in programming.
So in the programming side, we have a lot of really great availability here. Number one is it's going to allow individuals that are interested in lap swimming to just be able to get in, get out, get their workouts in. And doing an 8-lane pool really gives a lot of flexibility for those individuals that want to lap swim. And that is a huge gift for those that have been in smaller facilities. But this will also be the high school swim team pool. And so it is fully equipped with all of the state-of-the-art timing systems, able to host multiple meets, dual meets, as well as invitationals. We can do a lot inside of here to really emphasize Masters Swim Club levels, high school, as well as the age group swimming that's out there. So we really hope to develop a community that has a passion for swimming and start to see those kids develop and grow and host a number of great events. We talked about the versatility of this space. When you have swim meets going on, there's a warm-up pool, cool-down pool, you have your meet pool, It really allows for a lot of things to happen inside of these four walls, and that's exciting to showcase it in a venue like this.
And so I think another thing that's important, because we designed this to be really one of the best facilities around. We've had a lot of interest from swim programs all over the area, and folks are will be able to charge money for swim programs outside of Piscataway to come in and use the facility, generate revenue for the facility by hosting some of these larger swim meets as well. Correct, Kyle?
Exactly. That's a perfect location for it. In fact, probably one of the biggest challenges I see is just making sure that we balance the outside revenue with making sure that we're serving the community the correct way. On good days, we are going to exceed everyone's expectations, but there will be times that we'll have to adjust and shift those type of things, because this is going to be a sought-after facility for swim meets, for grounds, and just for those rentals that you spoke of.
Let me just point out a few of the things that I know are in the facility. First of all, we have the same problem with bleachers. The same company in Michigan has been held up logistically. We have, I think 250 seats for spectators that are going to go up in that little space against the wall. And some of the exciting concepts is it has automatic electric timing built into the wall, correct?
Our pad systems are all plugged in and they're connected, so that wiring is really simple, and we have all of those devices right around here. Yeah, it's amazing.
And there's a camera I see up above, and get a good shot of that. And we have the ability, if a swim meet's going on, to actually film the swimmers from different angles and project that for spectators, correct?
In fact, I think it's something that we don't talk about this facility nearly enough. Not only did we you guys design and have vision for a great community center, but it was packed full of technology, so that we were able to broadcast, keep safety in mind, display information, and inform people. The technology built into this design is one of the premier assets that we've got given to us.
Yeah, we're not going to take. I've been backstage, so to speak. We're not going to take people on this trip through the community center backstage, but if you go behind or down underneath the aquatic center or the community center, you can see the technology running. You can see the amount of equipment and pumping and the high-tech stuff that's all underneath the ground that really makes this run. It's really impressive. And it's off to you can't see it. See it, hear it, it's all put off to the side. So this is the aquatics, I guess, is really the heart and soul of most YMCAs. They do a lot of aquatic programming. One of the reasons we partnered with the YMCA on managing the facility was because you guys are experts in aquatic programming, and I'm really excited about seeing how you guys run this room. But there's one more aquatic thing we haven't looked at yet. So let's go take a look outside at our outdoor spray park, which I know we have some film of it being tested in operation, but let's go take folks out there and hear what your vision is for the spray park as well. So Kyle, we're out here at the outdoor aquatic spray park. I know we have some footage. We went through a test run, engineering, and actually we had a couple kids test it out, see if it was kid worthy or not. But tell us what you envision as the director. What kind of facilities would you run out here? What kind of programming would you run out here?
So this is going to be a very community-centered area for this facility. We're going to have this open to the community. They can get day passes to come on in here. We're going to have to find ways to make sure that all age groups are safe and protected. So we're going to have to work on some logistics to make sure that we find the time frames behind that. But I can envision birthday parties. I can envision evenings out here. And then, of course, when those heat waves hit Jersey, this is just going to be one of those fantastic zones that after work, parents can just bring their kids over, splash around on the play splash pad, and stay under the shade and do just some of those things that create some of the great summer memories that we all have had. So this is really going to be a multi-use, community-driven center, and will be a shining beacon definitely during the summer months.
Yeah, one of the things I know that we talked about when we were out here for the engineering test run was that you could use it at night. You could have movie night out here, and pizza night, and teen night, and we're only really limited by, I guess, our own creativity as to what we could do with this space.
That's exactly right. That's why this is such a gift, is that you dream it, you can make it happen in a facility like this, and especially out here. I think there are going to be many, many generations of kids that think very highly of their youth, and they're going to think right back to this splash park.
Well, you know, and ultimately that's what this is about. This is about community. That's why it's a community center. It's about family. It's about different generations all mixing together and enjoying different aspects of the facility. I'm really excited that we finally, after all these years, have been able to get the funds together and build a terrific facility. I'm really excited that you're here to manage the facility, to direct the facility, and I'm looking forward to years and years and years of and thousands or hundreds of families just enjoying this exciting location. I hope you enjoyed the detailed look we took at the Piscataway Community Center. It's really exciting. It's something we could all look forward to. Just a couple of reminders. The June primary election was moved to July 7th. As you may have heard, it's going to be primarily, if not exclusively, a vote by mail event. If you got a mail-in ballot, please turn it in. Please vote in the election. Hope everybody remains safe, remains healthy, and please follow the guidelines of the medical experts. The best way for our town and our country to get beyond this health crisis is if we do what the medical experts tell us. We're going to end the show tonight by showing you a clip or two of few events that are going on in town. Hi, I'm standing out here in front of Buzzy's. It's a landmark in Piscataway. I'm about 15 feet away from Senator Bob Smith. And we're out here because one of the things we're going to talk about is supporting local businesses and some of the changes that have come in the laws with regard to COVID-19. So I'm going to turn it over to Bob. I want to ask Bob if he can tell us a little bit about what's going on at the state level with some of the new regulations that have come out and some of the new orders from the governor. Bob?
Well, Steve, we're in the process of opening up the state. The governor has been issuing executive orders allowing beach access and other kinds of access to various facilities in the state. The rumor is that on June 15th, he's going to issue a new executive order that will provide for New Jersey citizens to go back to their favorite restaurants for outdoor seating with the appropriate spacing, and we'll be able to enjoy some of our famous food in Piscataway. As Steve said, Buzzy is one of our landmarks. I think our mayor was brilliant because he's already signed an executive order which says the minute the governor releases the food restaurants to provide this service, they don't have to do any permits with Piscataway. You don't have to get a zoning approval. You can just do it. I think the only thing you have to do is notify the town, which is great. Let's try and help our local merchants to get up and running again. And of course, I think everybody knows how horrible the statistics are. But even though the number of hospital admissions and the number of ICU bed usage has gone way down, we still have 1.1 million New Jersey citizens out of work, which results in a 15% unemployment rate. So anything we can do to help our restaurants and all of our other businesses, I think salons are going to have partial openings and whatever, we should do it. All right, these are our friends and neighbors. And finally, on a note of kindness, you know your neighborhood, you know your friends in your neighborhood. You want to reach out and make sure everybody's okay, and if there's any way you can help them, this is the moment to be a humanitarian.
Let me, if I can, talk about the executive order for just a minute. You know, I think we were one of the first towns in New Jersey to understand, where the governor was going to go. I appreciate the information that we got from the state and our state and county officials, such as you, Senator, and the mayor did. He issued an executive order that says exactly that restaurants like Buzzy's, and we have some great restaurants in Piscataway that have been selling takeout and doing the best they can, without going through the zoning process, the permitting process, and dragging it on, they can just come up with a plan, tell us what they're going to do, and they could have outdoor seating, and we can slowly get back to normal. So that was something that I was really excited that we did, because our local businesses are really important, and I appreciate your leadership in giving us a heads up about some of these things that we're going to come down the road much later on. So that's really good and helpful information. I know there's some other things at the state level that our residents need to know about. Sure. That you want to speak about.
There's first of all, today would normally be primary election day in New Jersey, and I think everybody who's watching knows that the primary election was moved from June the 2nd to July the 7th. So we have a primary election on July the 7th, very important one. President of the United States to mayor and council. Everybody's on the ballot. But the rules are different. Because of the virus, most polling places in the state will be closed. The governor, again, issued an executive order requiring that every election board in the state send mail-in ballots to every registered Democrat and every registered Republican, and also to give independents the opportunity to vote in the primary if they declare party. So you're going to get a mail-in ballot. And the best single advice I can give you is that it's more than your civic duty to vote. You want to, as soon as you get that mail-in ballot, sit down at the kitchen table, talk to your family and make your decisions and send it right in. And the reason I say that is that the only glitch in the system is the U.S. Post Office. They're under tremendous pressure at this time, and it's been taking a little longer for documents to get from one place to another. So you want to fill in that mail-in ballot and you want to send it in. On election day, there will be one or two places where you may be able to vote, but those polling places will require that you vote by provisional ballot. And what that means is you're going to fill out a huge number of pieces of paper to prove who you are, providing the appropriate identifying information, and then it's going to be sealed and put into a sealed container and then ultimately counted. But it's going to be a much more difficult process than just taking your mail-in ballot and mailing it in. So please, everybody, when you get your mail-in ballot, do it. Get it done, put it in the mail.
I appreciate what you said about Election Day and the mail-in vote, whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat or an independent who wants to vote in either one of the primaries. It is your civic responsibility. And one of the things that we've learned, regardless of what your political views may be, is in time of crisis, leadership matters and elections matter. And voting for leaders on the local, county, state, and national level are important, and they're real important responsibilities. And this time, at least, we got to do it by mail and do it early. Is that right, Senator?
Absolutely. Elections have consequences.
That's right. Anything else you want to say to the residents at home?
Other than stay safe, help our Piscataway business by getting out there as soon as they can start serving some food outdoors. Shop locally to the extent that you can, and please watch out for your neighbor.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us, Senator. I'm out here in front of Westergaard Library, and I want to just spend a couple moments talking about some of the changes and some of the reopening plans in town. There's a little more news since the last show, and frankly, folks, the news changes sometimes hourly, so you really need to pay attention to the state's website and the township's website and the township's Facebook page for updated information. So I'm here at the library, and one reason I'm here is because the library is going through a phased reopening. They've already, in phase one, they've brought the employees back, and they're working on various different steps along the way where the public will once again have, access to our great library system. The next step along the way, which I anticipate is going to be sometime in June, is the public will have the availability to take out books. You may have to order them in advance, may have to take them and go, but they'll have the ability to again have access to the library, and that's going to again work in phases. I would suggest if you're interested in the library, look at the library's website for the most updated information. We talked about soccer last month. The decision has been made that the spring soccer season is not going to be played, despite the orders of the governor. Soccer in Piscataway, it's a great activity, the Piscataway Soccer Club. It'll begin again in the fall. Piscataway Little League, there's been a change. If you recall, last time I was here with Councilman Frank Earn, and they were waiting on the governor's order. The governor has given an order. If it remains in place, the Little League is going to begin to play some games beginning around June 22nd. Now, those games are going to be a little different than the games that have been played in the past. There'll be masks worn, there'll be social distancing, there'll be a lot of hygiene in the dugout areas, a lot of restrictions on contact, a lot of restrictions on where the fans are. It's my understanding the snack bar won't be open. There's probably other precautions as well. Hopefully the kids will get back to the field. Some limited experience this year. They're probably going to play a limited schedule for about 6 weeks or so. Earlier in the show, we taped Well, we taped a couple of days ago when the COVID-19 testing site first opened in Piscataway. It's great to have them here in Piscataway. That's already changed since we taped it a few days ago. I told you folks at the time you needed to get a prescription. You no longer need to get a prescription. You can be tested if you believe you need a test. Get a test. That's what the site is there for. It's great we have it in town. I also had the opportunity this afternoon to talk to the superintendent of schools. He's been on the show the last few months. I wanted to get the most updated information and relay it to you here on the show. There were two things of importance that we talked about last month. The first was summer camp. The summer camp, regardless of the governor's orders for now, is canceled in Piscataway. They were more concerned about the health and welfare of the children and the staff, the logistical challenges. So unfortunately, the great summer camp program is not going to happen in the summer of 2020. The other issue of importance is graduation. Graduation is very important to the seniors. It's important to the community as a whole. The Board of Education understands that. The superintendent has got an excellent understanding of that. And frankly, they have a meeting tomorrow and several other meetings this week. And the superintendent explained to me that they have various different concepts. They're trying to determine what the best course of action is, and they should have a plan this week. They should have a plan by the end of the first week in June as to what's going to happen with graduation. Again, the best place to find that out accurately is on the school's website. So those are some of the updates that have occurred in the last couple of days. Things have changed quickly. Piscataway's done well in this crisis. I say done well in the sense that Piscataway folks have followed the rules. They've worn masks in public. They've worn them in stores. And we're a good, close community. So I just hope everybody remains safe and healthy. And hopefully soon this crisis will be beyond us.
Okay, we're down here today to honor the men and women who've fallen for fighting for our country. This is the 2020 Memorial Day honoring down here at Veterans Park. My name is Brian Waller, the mayor of Piscataway Township. I would like to turn the mic over at this point to the American Legion Commander Ron Valicki. Ron, would you come up and say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say I understand why we can't celebrate this day the way we have traditionally in the past. But I know there's no parades, there's no large gatherings, but we must never forget the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can all be free. I want to God bless them and God bless America. Thank you.
Ron, you're going to have Tony say a prayer.
Our chaplain, Tony.
Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, with respect and love, we pause to pay tribute to the honored and valiant departed comrades. Grant that we may ever be mindful of their service to God and the country and our commandership, with them in the ranks with American Legion. Hollow their graves, gives courage and comfort to those having suffered the loss of loved ones. Watch over the graves of our comrades. Grant an eternal rest their bodies and peace and happiness to the souls. Keep them until the honor and the final revolve, that when they are all called before the divine commander. May all of these men be present and accounted for. May the souls of the departed, the veterans, rest in peace. Amen.
too.
At this time, I'd like to have the 2020 Grand Marshal, Frank, come on up and say a few words.
Good morning. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out here, Mayor Waller, everybody from the American Legion, Commander Ron Valicki, our queen of our parade, Colleen Pagano, who our parades would never exist without her. A lot of people think that Memorial Day is about barbecues, going to the beach, 3-day weekends. Let's take time today and every day to remember what it's really about is our fallen soldiers who protected our freedoms and our liberties. To those who are still serving and to those who made it back, thank you for your service and welcome home. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. On behalf of Senator Smith, our County Sheriff Millie Scott, and our Freeholder Ken Armwood, as well as council members, I also acknowledge Council President Gabrielle Cahill's here. It's my great privilege and solemn honor to preside again over our community's observance of Memorial Day. While we wish the circumstances were different to enable a large gathering, I am confident and proud of the patriotism for this country felt throughout this township. As the world faces a health crisis and the populace of our nation is asked to mobilize its resources for the common good, let us remember the heroic examples set by many in uniform from among those of us and generations before us. Some of our township of our own, like Holmes Marshall and Jeffrey Burns, lost their lives in a foreign land in defense of our country and its ideals. Their sacrifice, as well as that of many more, should cause us to all consider how we will best give ourselves to our community and to our great country. Their profound legacy is a moral calling that we shall act in the best interest of our fellow Americans and live our lives with deep reverence for the men and women who have served in our armed forces. And I want to thank once again the American Legion Post 261, our commander Ron Valicki, and obviously Colleen Pagano. Just a small story about a couple weeks ago, Colleen called up and said, "What are we going to do about the parade?" I said, "We may not be able to have a parade and honoring, but we have to have at least an observance at a bare minimum." And I'm glad that some of the folks did show up here for this observancy, because it's very important that we honor our living vets and the ones that have given the ultimate sacrifice in service of our country. And we will persevere and get through this. And hopefully next year, you'll have 4,000 more hot dogs to cook. Right there. That's one thing Colleen was happy about. She didn't have to cook the hot dogs this year. So thank you. And I'm encouraging all the residents today, if you have a flag at your house, please put it out and fly it as high as you can. Right there, because that's what this great country is all about. Thank you for coming out today.
I want to thank everybody who showed up today. I know we couldn't have a large gathering either, but on behalf of our veterans who have passed away and our members of our post who had passed away, we give our great sincere thanks. And please, if you do have an American flag, hang it high today. Show your patriotism. We all are very proud of our country, and God bless America. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. Thank you. Council President, you want to say a couple words?
Sure. Sorry to be on the spotlight. I am extremely honored to be here today. And somebody recently asked me what was Memorial Day celebrating. And it shocked me to think that in this day and age, we don't know what it is. So again, just as everyone has said before, today is a day to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice so that we have our freedoms here. And freedoms even to wear a mask in light of what's going on, because we care for one another. So I'm forever grateful. I had an uncle who served in the Vietnam War and he came back not so great. I can appreciate the families who have sacrificed. They've given of their family, a child who has died in war, a father, a mother, a sister, a brother. So let us remember, and again, fly your flag high today, folks. Thank you.
And last but not least, I want to thank the Department of Public Works for making sure that we have all brand new flags out here for today, and some of the work that they did to beautify in this area. Thank you, and everybody have a safe holiday, but more importantly, I hope you stay safe with your family and friends. Thank you.